So a couple things that I want to get started with is first of all, AI experiences are really, really fantastic. They are the new frontier whenever it comes to photo booth activations. And I really do love how we're able to kind of bring the same sort of hardware experience in a new way to clients. So it's kind of like changing up how you do printing or changing up how you do a video activation or something like that. It is just kind of the next iteration of our industry, and this is the baseline of where it's going to go. It is only going to get better from here, and the cool thing is we are all pioneers and at the forefront of this. This also means that you do need to be charging accordingly. So that's the one thing that I'm going to say is that AI still should be a premium experience. Not everyone has the ability or know how to sort of apply these sort of experiences. I am a certain way whenever it comes to photo booth experiences whenever it's like a new thing. I don't particularly think that AI has a place for weddings. That's just kind of not the thing that I think AI is meant for. I think AI is meant for corporate, AI is meant for school activations. So that's the thing is I really do think that we're able to do a lot of new things with AI. I think that AI definitely has its place. The great thing about AI is we're at the new frontier. We are all pioneers. We are at the forefront of our industry by offering AI to our clients. I will just say once again, I think it's most directed towards branding and corporate and larger sort of event activations, schools, things like that. I think that it I don't think it belongs at a wedding, but that's just me. It most definitely still is a premium experience, and I think we all need to be charging accordingly like that. um, but I would like to say this. I do think that with AI, this is the worst that it's ever going to be. Like, this is the baseline. Like, it only gets better from here. So, I really do think that we are definitely have the ability to kind of offer a whole bunch of new things to our clients. Um, First up with AI, whenever I've said this before, I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. At the baseline of it, we are entertainers. We are really not photographers. Photo booths are really more geared towards entertainment, not necessarily photography. So I just want everyone to kind of keep that in mind. Like, our job is to make sure that guests are having a fun, good time. I did an event for Google a couple of weeks ago in New York, and we did this event at a bar, and it was during AWS. And the kind of fun thing about it was this particular company had everyone come over as like their like little like customer appreciation event, and we were doing a little roaming photo booth. And I mean, this thing was dead. Like, this party was dead. And I asked my client, she's super cool. I said, hey, listen, do you think I can like throw on like an AI experience or whatever? We're just kind of testing it, just kind of playing with it. She's like, yeah, totally, bring it on. So what I did was did the roaming photo booth, started taking photos, and it became such a huge fun experience. Everyone was partying, everyone was like, coming up there trying to figure out like which one they wanted to do. People were calling other people saying, "Oh my God, you have to get here." So that's the cool thing is whenever there is a mishap, I think that if so long as the mishap is like an extra arm or an extra finger or something like that, like it's we need to think of it as fun. And we need to recognize that this is part of the learning curve of AI. So, anyways, that's my spiel. That's where we're gonna start. Um, so we're going to go ahead and get started with what is generative AI. Generative AI is combining text-based prompts with captured photos to produce something fanciful, something fun, something that is out of reality, something that will surprise and delight guests. Um, we want to really kind of create something that people can't do on their phone and something that is specific and curated to whatever this particular event is. For example, I'm doing an event 2 weeks from now. It is at the Venetian, and we are doing this. The theme is Tokyo Pop. So it's like blues and neons and all sort of stuff. So I was in a meeting, and I had my client send me a photo of themselves, and I put it into the system, which I will show you how to do in a minute. And what we did was I did the neon punk, the option that Snappic has to offer on there. everyone on that call was like, do me, do me, do me, do me, do me. So they're all sending me their photos to put into the system to test. So it was really cool. And it was able to kind of meet the theme and do all the things that, we need to do with our clients to make sure that they're having fun. And what I did was I called them out on it. I said, the fun that y'all are having right now, your guests are going to have 10 times more fun with this. And they actually ended up adding a second booth. So double the money, double the fun. So again, all we're doing is we're making sure that we are taking whatever text, whatever um, output that we want to do, contextualize it, put it into a narrative paragraph form that the system can understand, and then have the system kind of do its work, do its magic. So, how generative AI works is the AI doesn't process language like a human does. It interprets patterns, in probabilities and from training data. Misinterpretations typically result in ambiguity in your prompt or overlapping of associations in the prompt. So you could say, oh, give me a thing of a city. And it'll pop out, let's just say a bunch of taxis. Well, you don't want taxis. So you need to go in there and negate that original prompt or something like that. Also, this is really weird. And this is not necessarily just Snappic. This is just AI in general. AI wants to put a gun in everything. I have no clue why, but we did an event and like a random gun popped out of somewhere. Like I have no clue where it came from. Um, so again, all this is still most definitely a learning curve. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are clear. We want to make sure that we are super specific and that we are iterating refinement. Iterating refinement. Unique New York. Iterating refinement. um, that's the thing is we want to make sure that we're being super specific with our prompt to make sure that we're getting exactly what we want and exactly what we're going for. Yes, nudity happens. Nudity happens a lot. I have no clue why. That's another thing is well, no, I don't want that, like that kind of nudity. But there are times where, if you're doing a corporate event, and I'm going to use this one as an example that we did earlier, is we did a Roman themed event with neon and pink and all sorts of things. And we told the system, hey, this is also whenever we were testing custom AI and the individual prompts. We went in there and we were like, hey, put togas in everyone. And like a guy took in a photo and he just ended up like ripped and like the toga was like sticking out and we're like, where did this come from? He was like, oh my God, I want that. So it's fun. We just need to make sure that that is where we need to keep the expectation. Uh, just to answer this question, no, right now AI is only one person per photo. Every now and then something will happen where it'll kind of surprise us. So we did one like 2 days ago with, I don't know if it was the watercolor one or what it was, but I can pull it up in a minute. And we ended up two people, and we told Snappic, hey, we need to stick to the original photo. And two people popped out. I was like, that's not supposed to happen. Why did it happen? No clue. Um, Sometimes AI just has a mind of its own. Wait until it takes over the world. That's another thing. AI also tends to make people skinny. So a way around that is whenever you select original, it'll retain the skin color, it'll retain glasses, it'll retain body shape, it'll retain those things. And we'll most definitely show you how to make sure that original is selected for those things. Red Bull break. Okay, so another. This is also the thing that I was talking about, ambiguity. So, for example, we were talking about vague prompts. So, if you're going to give the system a vague prompt, you're going to get a pretty vague photo, and you're most likely going to get things that you don't want. So, for example, a person standing on a mountain with a blue background could result in blue clothing on a person, the mountain colored blue, or a blue sky. So you need to be specific if you want a green mountain, a blue sky, trees, a meadow, a river running down the middle of it. Super, super specific. The more, the better. I will also say this, the more that you add on to it, sometimes the longer it can take. Another thing is keyword overlaps. This is kind of a thing that does happen. So descriptors may unintentionally affect some of the elements that you're trying to get after. A red apple on a white table with a blue background might result in parts of the apple or the table appearing blue. So those are kind of some of the things that you kind of have to keep in mind. Um, Syntax limitations. The AI treats prompts holistically rather than processing it sequentially. So, for example, a futuristic city with neon lights and no vehicles may still include vehicles if the concept of the city strongly suggests it. So, what you need to do is you need to go into the negation and take out those things. If that's something that you don't want. Again, be specific, be absolutely specific. Um, Typically the way how to work is putting commas. So instead of doing like a fun description, just do person, comma, mountain, comma, blue sky, comma, 4K, comma, meadow, comma, river in background, like those sort of things. So those are the things that we're going to kind of that we want to put in there. Positive and negative prompting. So this is one of the things that is most definitely going to save you from things that you don't want to have included. Very quickly on here, whenever you're putting in the negative prompt, and actually, well, hold on, never mind. We'll get to that in a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. We want to describe the things that we want. So all the desired elements. So whether that is a yellow brick road, whether that is a tornado, a serene forest, whatever that may be. Negative prompts, we're going to go ahead and make sure that we're putting those things that we don't want in there. And then we're going to combine it for exactly the thing that we want. So the positive, a picturesque mountain landscape with a lake and a sunrise sky. The negative thing that we don't want text, we don't want modern structures, and we don't want bright artificial colors. Some of the things that there are some things that you might want in there. You might want certain things muted, some things desaturated. Go ahead whenever you're putting in the prompt, put in those commas and do that. Next, what we're going to do is instead of saying no people in the negative section, just say people because the no is going to already be implied. It's kind of like that NSYNC song, "You've got no choice, babe. That ain't no lie." It's a double negative. A no plus a no equals a positive. So don't put the no in there because that's going to get canceled out. So what we're going to do is instead of just saying no text, we're just going to put text. Negating bias in AI outputs. So this is biases, this is stereotypes, this is all of the things that we are super scared of and things that we don't want to have happen. So again, part of that is if your prompt is super specific, you're going to have a very, very, very consistent outcome. Um, so that's the thing that we need to always kind of keep in mind is diversifying these prompts and making sure that all these things are inclusive. So, for example, a diverse group of scientists is something that you could use. Next is ethical use of generative AI. So, what we're doing here is we want to make sure that we are respecting copyright laws, we are avoiding harmful or misleading content, and we're using AI responsibly to make sure that we're not creating, something horrible or something that can be misleading. We don't want to do any of those things. So some examples of effective prompting that we were talking about a minute ago whenever I was mentioning the commas. We're actually going to use this one as a prompt. So shot of a middle-aged man. Background is on the Las Vegas theater stage with bright glittering lights. Subject has cinematic lighting, highly detailed, high contrast 4K dynamic lighting. If anyone has done anything in Midjourney, you are very familiar with these prompts already. And these are some of the things that you're already going to know. Whenever you're trying to build something super specific, I would go on Reddit, I would go on Midjourney, I would go on all of the things that you can find to try and create some of these prompts. All you're doing is going to copy that prompt, paste it into Snappic, put in your negations, and then go ahead and test it and then see where that can come up or see where that'll bring you. Um, Okay, dokie. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Snappic. Okay, so we're going to go into Snappic and we're going to create an event. And like I said previously, and I will every time I do one of these things, creating these preset event templates is probably the best thing that you can do for your business to make sure that all you're doing is just clicking, setting up all the things that you want to set it up, and go from there. So I'm just going to set up a blank AI template. Okay, so we're going to scroll down here and we're going to go into, so these are all the presets that I have just for if I need to set up an event. These are all the things that we're going to kind of use the most. So just to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to get rid of it all so we don't have any confusion. So again, you're going to click this add AI filter right up here on the left-hand side. And then we're going to click custom prompt. And then it's going to say at the bottom here that that effect's going to be added. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click edit and then go down to the custom prompt. So here we have a couple of things. So we're going to have the template name. We're going to have the filter preview. And I'll show you how to change these filter previews once you have something done that you would like. We're going to have original, half body, and headshot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is going to be set to original because that's the thing that I want to make sure that it's retaining all of those things. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste that previous prompt that we did. So I'm going to say shot of a middle-aged man. Background is on a Las Vegas theater stage with bright glittering lights. Subject has cinematic lighting, highly detailed, high contrast 4K dynamic lighting. I'm going to click confirm. And then I'm going to go over here and click test. And then I'm going to bring up a photo. So this is just a standard one that we use from an event last week. And I'm going to click test. So it's going to send out that request and then process the image. And this is all done in real time. So this is exactly how long the image would take to process. So you can kind of get a feel for how long this is going to take. If anyone wants to put in some example prompts that they want me to try out, please go ahead and do that. And we'll see if we can hone in on some pretty good themes that you would like to see. And then we'll start off with vague, see what that looks like, and then bring it on down and try and see if we can tailor it in. Nice. I would be happy with this image. I think that this is something that I would be very much okay with to give to a client. This to me looks like he's on the stage and the audience is behind him. So I really enjoy this. I'd be very happy with that. So I want to download that. So let's just say that, we got it right off the bat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click save as preview. And then that image is going to become our AI filter preview. So that's going to show up on the top left. Perfect. So let's just say that that's one that we wanted to complete. So I'm going to do a custom prompt again. And with this one, I'm going to go back to original and I'm going to put in a vague prompt. So I'm going to say person in Munchkin Land, Munchikin, of Oz with a yellow brick road. So I'm just going to do that and then just see what it comes up with. A great thing about Snappic is whenever you're in a session like this, it's going to retain that original test image that you had. So you don't have to go back and keep uploading the same thing over and over and over again. So that's another thing. Sometimes you'll have a client that will ask you, hey, can you do something that's more cartoony? Or actually that's another good one. So you'll have a client where they'll say, hey, send me whatever. You send them an example and they're like, it comes out too cartoony. And then you send them another one and then that's more realistic. And they're like, oh, well, that's too realistic. So it's almost trying to figure out which client is or what your client is trying to go after. If it's more like fanciful, if it's more whatever. I mean, this is great. I mean, that's really great for an image that is super vague. Although he has a Rubik's Cube in his hand. So why does he have a Rubik's Cube? And that also looks like we're in a forest, not in Munchkin Land. So I'm going to see if I can change this and I'm going to dismiss this. I'm going to click edit and I'm going to do objects in hand. I'm going to do mushroom houses. And I'm going to do children playing in the background. Hit confirm, and then we'll test this again. So it asks, will images captured during the AI session process the same as with regular sessions should internet be weak? Process when internet strengthens. So that's the great thing is all this is kind of done in the cloud. So all the internet you really need is the internet to get the photo out. Once the photo uploads, then it's out of your control. Then it's going to servers or space or wherever this is done. Area 51, something like that. Yes, he already solved the Rubik's Cube. What makes a better test picture? Waist up with hands in front. So that's another thing. I would also test things a bunch of different ways. Okay, so this is going to be something more like, again, why the Rubik's Cube? No clue. But this to me says more Munchkin Land than anything else. So I would be happy with this. So let's go ahead and change his outfit now. So let's go ahead and change it to, I'm going to say subject is wearing a colorful outfit. And then we're going to run it again. So this is also another thing is I would think that it's so he's also holding a drink in this test photo. So that's probably why it's doing all those things. But this is also important to test photos like these because that's what's going to happen in real life. So I would much rather test with a photo that's more likely to happen than a perfect photo that's not. We could test everything with a perfect photo, but in 100 photos that are going to be taken at this event, only three are going to look like that. Okay, so will every photo taken look the same, or will it do variations of that photo? So this one, we again, like I said, we had set to original, so it's going to retain that original image, that original position, all of those things. I think this looks great. I would be happy to give this to a client. I think that this is very accurate. Uh, the yellow is a little bit sparse, but let's do this. Let's go ahead and try the exact same prompt with another photo and see where that will get us. So again, original is gonna match whatever photo is taken. And then after this, we'll do half body and headshot and then see where that will get us. If anyone has any prompts that they want me to try out, please go ahead and put it in the chat so I can go ahead and try out something for you. Another question, is it possible that the customers write a prompt on a paper sheet, stand with that in front of the camera, and Snappic creates photos from that? No, that's not how this works. So what's going to happen is all of this stuff has to be predetermined and put in the system well ahead of time. There's nothing that can be done ahead of time. Or I'm sorry, nothing that can be done on the spot. So this is great. So this is, again, retaining that original photo or that original position. I think it's great. It's a very accurate yellow brick road. I think there's a little tiny person right on this side. No clue, but I'm completely okay with this. I think this almost reads a little German to me, maybe. But there are worse things. So I'm going to go ahead and test this. So we did that with original. So half body is going to come with that slanted, the guy doing the thing. Everyone is in the exact same position. So this is probably something that you were thinking of a bit ago. So we're going to test this. And again, I would always make sure that whatever image that you're going to use, whether if it's a portrait or if it's a landscape, whatever you're testing at, go ahead and make sure that that's or I'm sorry, whatever your final image is going to be. Um, if your final image is going to be landscape, go ahead and make sure that all your test images are landscapes as well. I mean, it's fine. She looks that's a little strange. But again, I'm very happy with how consistent these images are. And then we're going to do one more and do the headshot. And actually, let's do it with the guy and see where that takes us. Go ahead and test that one. Do you think processing speeds will speed up with Snappic in the near future? I think this thing is pretty fast as it is. I mean, it's a minute. If another person takes a photo, will the background be exactly the same or will it make a different version each time? It will be different each time. So those images are all going to be processed separately. If you would like for those images to be a little bit more consistent, what I would suggest is doing face swap, because that you have a little bit more control over it. So if you find one image that you want to hang on to, you can go ahead and make sure that those things are in there. So that's the headshot version. Love how he's color blocked. um, I think it's fine. I think it's great. I think that if you want to hone in on certain things that need to be changed, maybe you want more poppies or something like that, that's something that could most definitely be done as well. How do you handle 6, 7 fingers and general bad, weird hands? Again, I have said this before, I will say it again. We are entertainment. This is not serious. We are not curing cancer. We are making sure that people have a good time. I would say congratulations to your wife. I mean, that's just the only thing I can think of. Coming up with those one-liners really does help, just because you're there to make what could be an awkward situation funny and, move on to the next one. Um, so again, we want to make sure that we're doing the best we can and making sure that the guest is having a good time, even if, you know, the AI is doing something that we don't want to do. I'm going to get fired or replaced. Can I write the prompt in another language? That is a demure question. Um, oh, good. So it would work it in French. It works in French. Fantastique. C'est parfait. Should you put phrases or compound nouns in quotes like house on a hill, or do the quotes not matter? No. So quotes don't matter, the commas matter. So house on a hill, I think is can be read as one image. Oh, see, this is great. Although it kind of gave him a little mushroom hat, but again, still works for me. And it looks like he's holding, a yellow cup of coffee or something. Okay, another someone just asked a very important question about printing. So the way how this will work is with printing has to be done with the sharing station. You cannot print an AI image on the device of which it was created. So what's going to happen is, let's say you have a ring light photo booth, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. So let's just say you have a ring light photo booth and or a roaming photo booth, and you're doing all these photos with everyone. The way how the workflow is going to happen is the guest is going to take the photo will be texted to them, it'll be sent off into space. Whenever it's ready, it'll come back down and then they'll get a text message. That device that the photo was taken on will not receive the AI created image. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a separate sharing station. So this can also be done on a laptop. If you have a MacBook Pro, I don't know which chip it is, but you actually can run Snappic on your laptop and run a sharing station on your laptop. So it would be no different than if you are running, the laptop that is attached to the printer on there. So it doesn't have to be an extra piece of equipment. If you would like it to be, you can tether another iPad into there where you can put a sharing station on there and print it. But you absolutely can run a sharing station on at least I know a Mac laptop. Okay, so let's go in here and do one more AI filter. So we're going to do custom prompt. Eiffel Tower background, high detail, 4K, cinematic, high contrast, dynamic lighting. Um, the negative prompt. I don't want any hats. We don't want no berets. And I'm just going to see where this takes us. Can you use a regular laptop for sharing station? No, it does need to be a Mac. Can text, or I'm sorry, clarify, can guest text receive both the original and the AI FX rendered images? Yes, they can. So let's just say that. So naturally, by default, what's going to happen is you're going to have a still of the original image and the AI image, and it's going to pop up with the two. So just as you did a photo with like let's just say you printed a photo, it's going to have that photo that you took, and then like it's going to have the GIF both on that same sharing screen. If you would like to only show the guest the AI photo, all you do is go in there and you're going to hide the still image. So this is the image it created. This is about as perfect as I think you could ever get. I am sorry, there is nothing. I would be very happy to give that to my client. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're testing it. So we're going to go ahead and test with another image and see where that gets us. So again, this is something that needs to be clarified. So the images that I am running through right now are being processed in real time. So this is no different than it would take to come down from the cloud. Is there a way to add the original image superimposed on the template that contains the AI images? Yes. Okay, so this one put in some text and it put in the Eiffel Tower and put in the things that we don't want. So what we want to do is make sure that we get rid of that. So I'm going to go in here to edit. Nope, sorry, wrong one. Go in here to edit, and I'm going to say text. Test. One more time. I'm sorry, going back to the original question. So is there a way to include both the original image and the AI created image? Yes. What you're doing is you're going into, this is not done in the AI filter section. This is going to be done in the template section. So what you're going to do is, and I went on this previously. So go back to the previous session that I did. With that one, what we did was whenever you do your template, you're going to have image one and image two. I'm 99% sure that image two is going to be the captured image, and then image one is the AI image, or maybe it's the other way around. I forget. So again, we're doing, okay, so this is my problem. So I told it no text, but what it's doing is it's pulling the original text that's on her shirt. So that's kind of why that's kind of why we're getting that problem. So I'm going to go ahead and let me see if I can do one more image and see where that gets us. So this one doesn't have text. So let's see where, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Here we go. And we're going to run this. All the previous sessions of all the Snap sessions that I've done are all on YouTube. Perfect, gorgeous, we love. So again, if you want to get super specific with how it looks, what you can do is you can say in the style of a cartoon or whatever. So I'm going to go in, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and change it to cartoon style. And we're going to click test and then test it one more time. And honestly, this is something that you just kind of have to do whenever you're doing a custom prompt. What we don't want to have is we don't want to have an inconsistent image. We can still have a very consistent theme while all of the individual images are different. I think that's kind of what's important because we don't want to give people the exact same thing. We want it still in like the same realm. So this one kind of didn't do much, and it kind of gave. So the Eiffel Tower only has 2 decks. I don't know why I gave it 3. So what I would do is go ahead and set that as a preview and then have that be that final image. So again, what we're doing here is we're going under creating a new template and we're going to put in those 2 images. So I'm just going to drag something here just so you can see. So I actually have Snappic running on my Mac that I'm on. So I'm going to click that event that we just set up. And the camera that I'm going to do is my FaceTime camera, the front camera. I'm just going to start this photo booth real quick, and it's going to take the photo off of my laptop. So I want to do, I guess I can do this one. Okay, so what's going to happen now is, so this is what the guest would see is your image is being processed with AI magic. So whenever you initially see the photo, that's what's going to happen on both. And then I'm going to X out of here. And then this was just what I was talking about. If you need to print, you're going to make sure that you're setting up a sharing station, and then we're going to wait for it to pop up on here. How would you handle a request where a client wants a copyright theme like Disney Ghostbusters? You do not do those. Most of the time, what you can do is you can type in a princess, comma, blue dress, comma, tiara, comma, running downstairs. Things like that, I think that you can work around. But for the most part, we want to make sure that we're not, no one's trying to get sued. So there we go. So there's that initial image and the AI generated image that was created in the same one. And you can come up with really cool things. So I saw someone do it on a book. You can do a CD cover. You can do a DVD. I have a really cool thing that I want to do with. I think I have that shirt. I have a thing that I want to do with like a Netflix cover. So we can do all these really cool, fun things, and then just make sure that we're creating a really fun experience for our guests. So again, with this one, it retained the original image. So it kept my glasses, it kept my skin tone. I look a little chunky, but whatever. Yeah, that's a great way to get rid of no fingers is just doing a headshot. That eliminates the process altogether. Okay, so what is going to happen is this is the Black Friday deals from Snappic. If you have not yet been aware. So these are all the yearly pricing. Pro is $449 per license. Enterprise is $1259. Enterprise Plus is $28.99. So if you are not on Enterprise Plus yet, are you even photo boofing? um, Enterprise Plus is what I use. It has all the things that you would need to operate, at your highest efficiency. I really do enjoy my Enterprise Plus. Um, all the features are in here. AI is in here. AI is still on credits. Credits can be purchased in your account. Just go ahead and click account and then click account credits and then click AI effect credits. Um, yeah, lots of fun. Also, whenever you are testing credits, I believe, or whenever you're testing events, I do believe that it does use a credit. Next is the photo with texting club. This is where we are texting a whole bunch of updates. You can text Ryan to 833-209-9555, or you can scan that little QR code. Yes, so 2,900 is the one license. If credits run out, it's going to stop rendering the AI. Next is Q&A. If anyone has any questions, thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone for joining us. I will stick around for a little bit and answer any questions, or if you want to play with, uh, have me play with a few things for a few more minutes. But yeah, so again, so what will happen if you lose the credits? It's going to ask you to regenerate again. Also, fun little fact, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to share my screen one more time. Um, whenever you, I did not know this until recently, but let's just say someone doesn't like their photo, you can go into manage gallery, and then whenever you click the AI, you can click regenerate, and then it'll regenerate the image. I thought that was a fun little thing, because we had a guest that did their photo and it did not come out well. What you can click regenerate. The problem is if you regenerate the image, you can only print it from the browser. The new image does not go to the sharing station, but they do get a text message with the new image. But it does not appear in the sharing station again. That's just a kind of weird little glitch that kind of happens. Yes, it will use another credit. Anytime you're generating an AI image, it will use another credit. So I'm gonna refresh this and see if it pops up with my new one. Okay, and there's my new one. So now it put, more glow on my face or whatever. Good times. How do you start a sharing station on a Mac? Um, so the Mac option is the exact same option as if it were on an iPad. So this screen that you're seeing right now is or is the image of Snappic that's running on my Mac. And all you're doing is just clicking the same thing. So instead of hitting start photo booth, you're going to hit start sharing station. And then that's where your images are going to appear. Everyone's password. Will Snappic offer a way to auto credit, or should we choose in our account in the future? I would go ahead and so actually two things. So the Snappic is an app running in my Mac. It is not a browser based. Will Snappic offer an auto credit solution? No, you always need to make sure that your account has plenty of images before you start your event. That way you don't run into that problem. Is face swap faster for processing? Yes, it is a little bit faster, because it really doesn't have to do much. But I mean, whenever you're creating a whole image versus just a face, yes, it's going to run a little bit faster. Wonderful. Well, if that does it, thank you so much for everyone. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season and make some money selling some AI stuff.